Okay, my friends, here it is, the Monday Morning Thrivecast, here at the Thrive Like a Viking headquarters, which happens to be the Garden Like a Viking headquarters. Okay, let us know where you are at, what it's like where you're at. Let us know how your cold training's going, how your breath work is going, how your meditations are going. Yes, all of this, you can share it. You can share it with us here in the live chat or in the comments or in the Discord. We have a Discord forum now, which is like a chat room for everybody. Do you remember back in the day when the internet was first coming around? You got into a chat room. And it's kind of like that now, except it doesn't matter who's on the phone anymore because you remember that? Who's on the phone? I can't get. You kicked me off the internet. So, all right, guys. Yeah, these young kids, they will never know about that phone, that dial up. Yeah. Creative Soil, hello, my friend. Good to see you here. Thanks for sharing about your cold training and your journey in the Discord and in the comments. This is very good because it helps other people. That's what the sharing is all about. Also, it helps yourself, of course, and if there's anything that needs clarified in the practices and stuff like that. But also, other people can read it and think, oh man, I've been wanting to make a change in my life as well. So if these people are all doing it and they are experiencing positive benefits, then maybe I should do it. Maybe I can do it as well, So that's what it's all about. Jerry, hello, my friend, says 3 minutes every day, heading the ice bath training during cattle feeding in the AM. Nice, man. Doing the cold training in the AM is no joke. That's no joke, okay? So you're doing the ice bath cold. So Jerry, have you done the ice bath then? Have you done the ice bath? Yes. Good. And I just planted some of the Bates garlic. That's what we're calling it. Just planted some of the Bates garlic. Jody K, hello from Minnesota. 10 degrees. Nice. Stefani Stevens, good morning from Oceanside. Yes. My grandma used to live there. Val says, happy to see that my 40 seconds in the cold shower is getting easier. Nice. That's what we like to see. It's only going to get easier and easier as the vascular system becomes conditioned and more importantly, the neurological muscle that we call the willpower is getting stronger and stronger. Yes. Jamie Copeland says, hello, everyone. I've been keeping breathing and cold showers in my daily routine. Been feeling more calm and alive these days. Yes, that's what we like to hear. Definitely. With the breathing and the cold training, it's very important that when we go into the cold or when we do the breathing, we maintain the center because it's like an expedited, a really, really powerful practice. So, like if you go to the gym and you try to build your muscles, then there's some lifts that are really, really powerful. Squats, cleans, deadlifts, those core lifts that really put the most muscle on. Because they recruit the most muscle fibers. All right. So in this analogy, the ice bath and the cold training, the breathing, that is like the core of the neurological muscle of the mind because it forces you to maintain the center, even though the mind wants to go all over the place. It wants to say, get out, or I can't do this, I can't do that, I got blah, blah, blah. No, take control. You take control. You take control like that, you maintain center. And when you're doing that, even in the face of something that's extreme, like the cold or the breathing, then that is really doing well. That's really strengthening this, all right? Stefani says, it's meant to be that I am here. My sister passed 2 days ago. Yes, my friend, my heart is with you. Definitely. Yes, Val says, my condolences to you and yours. Creative Soil says, sorry for your loss, Stephanie. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. Yes, Brian says, sorry for your loss. See, everybody is sending the healing energy. Pam says, hello, Nate, and everybody all over the world. Much blessings and peace. Still pouring cold water over me after my bath. Meditating every morning. Much love from South Africa. Yes, that is still good enough. Definitely. Brian says, Val, I got up to 30 seconds, then got sick working to get back up to 30 seconds. Yes. Okay. Well, you'll have ample time over the winter for the to get back up. Definitely. And Aaron Johnson, good morning. We are 33 degrees here in Kentucky. I still have crops growing under cover, though. Nice. Ursula, good to see you here, my friend. Says, morning, y'all. We've had beautiful, thick, slushy snow here over the weekend. Yes, it was nice. Though not very much, but definitely. And okay, guys, so today we are going to talk about forgiveness and how it can be some people's last obstacle to freedom. And we will do a bit of meditation first, but then we will get into this topic because it is much requested. So I will give my thoughts and experience with forgiveness, what it is not, and how we can utilize it as one of our core practices. Yes. Matthias says, hey, Nate, just joining in. He's in the Netherlands, just back from biking. All right. How stereotypical of the Dutch. Biking everywhere, right? And yes, forgiveness. This is coming. Darian Pearson says, did my morning affirmations today, every day and every way. I'm getting better and better. I am better and better. Yes, definitely. And you know what really, I was practicing that affirmation for some time until it was deeply ingrained. And then I heard the song by John Lennon, Beautiful Boy. Do you know that song? Listen to it again sometime and let me know what you think. So, okay, guys. Trish says, great topic. I struggle with this for sure. Would be great to see other perspectives. Definitely. We can talk about this here in just a bit. But first, let us drop in with some meditation. Now, I was looking for my meditation in progress sign, but I can't find it. So I guess we're just going to have to go freestyling. People won't know if it's meditation or not, but okay. Stephanie says, our other sister wasn't forgiving and she missed out on our dear sister. Ooh, yeah. Been there. And then the person is no longer in this realm. And so now, yeah. Yes. Okay, so let us drop into the meditation, my friends. We'll begin by taking a few deep, conscious breaths. Hold. Let it go. Again, fully in, deeply as you can. Hold. Let it go. Again, breathing fully in. Hold. Hold. And let it go. Now allow the body to breathe however it wants to breathe, making no effort to breathe in any particular way. Just keep the spine straight. Gently close the eyes. You can fold your hands and put them in your lap, or keep them out, pointed up towards the sky, receiving the energy from the ether. Now bring all of your attention to the subtle sensation of air as it flows past your nostrils, through your nose, into your lungs, fills your lungs, and falls back out. Breathing in, breathing out. There is no need to think of anything else. Remain single-minded, focused only on the sensation of air. It's not a thought, it's just a feeling, an awareness. You're not doing anything, you're just aware. You will notice how the mind wants to wander away to thoughts or to fantasies or memories. This is natural and normal for the untrained mind. It has been conditioned to go from one thought directly to the next. The inner dialogue is almost incessant for some people, most people. During the meditation, become aware of what is happening in the mind. If a thought arises, become aware of the thought and the nature of the thought. Briefly label it and then let it go. If a memory comes into your mind, you recognize it, you say, remembering mind. Or if you are planning something that's going to happen later this week, as soon as you realize, you say planning mind, and you let it go and bring the attention back to the sensation of breath. There is no need to try and force the thoughts out of the mind. That will not work. That will only create more tension. Instead, you open the mind. You recognize, become aware of the thought that is present, and then let it flow right out of the mind. Simultaneously become aware of what is happening in the body. Many of you have been practicing for several weeks or months now. Your ability to focus and to be present is no doubt increasing. So while you are aware of the air, the sensation of breath, also notice the feeling of gravity on the body. Also notice the sense of joy or peace or serenity that is within you in this moment. Free of thought, just awareness existing. Remain as pure awareness. Any activity happening in the mind, just observe it. Keep the attention anchored on the breath. Feel the connectedness with the earth, the atmosphere, each other, all things. All things are connected. This is not a thought. You can feel it. Let us come out of the meditation by taking a few deep conscious breaths together, breathing fully in as deeply as you can. Hold. Let it go. Again, breathing fully in. Hold. Let it go. Again, breathing fully in. Hold. Hold. Let it go. Okay, my friends. Yes, so during the meditation, it really doesn't matter what happens, what arises in the meditation. As you deepen your practice, which means as you stay consistent and allow the practice to do its magic, then you will notice everything becomes the meditation. This is the style of meditation, if you want to call it that we're practicing here, is the ultimate functional meditation. It's not the kind that requires you to be locked away in a temple or in a cave, or that you can only meditate during certain hours when you're in a certain place with a certain incense, with a certain chanting, blah, blah, blah. No, this is the type of meditation that you are practicing so that you can bring it out into your life and it can be functional, moving meditation, a living, breathing meditation. Your whole life becomes the practice, and it becomes beautiful. And so it doesn't matter if you're at the store or with in a crowded environment, you can tap right in. You're always connected. There will come the point when the connectedness is all the time, everywhere. Yes. So, yes, apparently it's Cyber Monday, guys, whatever that means. So here we are on the cyberspace. Kathy Tittle, good morning from Oregon. Just in from animal chores. Nice. Can't wait to get to the land again so we can get animals again. Aaron Johnson, I'm not sure why, but I cannot quit thinking about Nate during meditation. I'm not trying to. Yeah, maybe it's because I'm talking during meditation. But during your own meditations, just, observe that. You can just say thinking mind. You can say, or if it's thinking of some kind of thing, fantasizing mind. I mean, imagining mind, any of those. What's important is that you become aware of the quality of the content of your mind. You see, the mind that you experience is like a screen. Your source is a projector that projects the movie onto the screen. The ego life, is just the moving picture on the screen. Yes. So we have to see what is coming across the screen of our mind. And we have to become aware of the quality of it, and then we recognize it, and then let it go. We let it go. That's the important part. Okay, Last Man Standing says, how do you forgive someone who took my 2 boys away from me for 3 years over false accusations? Yeah, good question. Good question. So the thing about forgiveness, guys, and I've got this topic, or I've got this suggestion from you guys quite a bit. And so what I'm going to say here is not going to be typical, is not going to be like a therapist would tell you, why you have to forgive somebody and what that means and how you have to go about doing it. And no, okay, your mother did this to you. You have to forgive her. There's forgiveness is big talk now in the spiritual, realm. And so it's, but a lot of people are under a total misconception of what forgiveness is. They think, okay, so now I've become so spiritual that I will forgive you. Okay, so ready? Okay, I have forgiven you. Okay, but what? Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Okay, so you've been wanting to forgive someone, or you haven't forgave someone for a long time, and then all of a sudden you become spiritual now, and then you forgive the person, but nothing actually happens. It's still the same present moment. It's still the same everything. So it is not a type of mental acrobatics, forgiveness. What is it really? Forgiveness ultimately is the recognizing of the true nature of the other, what appears to be the other. So we have the storyline, the ego mind. This is of utmost importance that we become aware of what the ego mind is. The ego mind is the me that I think that I am, that I have a history, and that I have preferences, and that I have a social life, and the me, and the commentator in the head. And the commentator in the head, which is the ego mind, is constantly creating a storyline out of the reality of what is, which is always neutral. Reality is always neutral. And so the ego mind wants to create the storyline. And then if we believe in the storyline, and to the degree in which we believe in the storyline, that is where the tension or the suffering or the stress or the anxiety comes from. is the belief. See, the mind has said, you cannot forgive this person. Absolutely not. Because of what they did to you 15 years ago, that was just totally atrocious. There's no way, no, that I can forgive them. That's what the ego mind says. And so if you believe in that, then you will feel the contracted energy. You will feel the strife. You will feel the consequences of that. Have you ever heard of the thing, anger is like drinking poison and expecting to hurt the other person? Or, resentment is like drinking poison expecting to hurt the other person. You're only hurting yourself. And so sorry about that. I saw some questions here. And so the forgiveness is recognizing that the other person, what appears to be the other person, is also a being of pure light. When you begin to recognize your true nature, which is just to say uncover your true nature, and you begin to feel the limitless presence that is beyond the commentator in the mind, that is beyond the likes and dislikes that you might have or the life history that you think you have, you begin to see that that is a storyline. And the degree to which you believe in that is the degree to which you believe that you are an individual, that you are a person, that you are an ego mind. That is all the ego mind. Has nothing to do with your true nature, which is mind-blowing to a lot of people and totally foreign. If you're not accustomed to living, or if you're not accustomed to this, yet, then it might not even make any sense at all. You're thinking, what are you even talking about? The ego mind. What, I mean, I am me. I am what I am. Investigate deeper, my friends. Investigate deeper. Use your new developing power of focus and presence to uncover the nature of yourself. And when I say self, I mean capital S, not little self. The little self is the ego mind. So as you begin to uncover this, you will see that the ego, which is what most vast majority of people believe to be themselves, is nothing more than a program. It is nothing more than a program. It has been programmed based upon the past experience, what appears to be the past. It is conditioning and experience. What happened to me in the past has conditioned the ego mind, of course. Your true nature cannot be conditioned. It's limitless, infinite potential. So the ego mind becomes condition of the past. And if you are totally identified with this, meaning you take that thought process, those beliefs, you take that to be yourself, then you will not even know that it's there. You will be at the mercy of it because you won't be able to step outside of it. And this is where almost everyone is, that they are completely engulfed in the program of the ego mind. Yes, we can call this the matrix. Yeah. And so they really don't have any choice. They really don't have any free will. They really don't have any choice in the matter because they are functioning unconsciously based upon a set of preconditioned parameters. This is the ego mind, every ego mind. But when the light comes on and it's seen that there never was an ego of any kind and that you've always been absolute freedom, then all of a sudden you see, whoa, what I was doing in my previous life, I was unconscious. I wasn't aware. And so you can forgive yourself. This is what it boils down to. You forgive yourself. I was unconscious, but now I was blind, but now I can see. And so this goes to other people as well. And they are operating from a system, an unconscious parameters, belief patterns. All of this stuff is conditioned from the past, from childhood, and it can even be generationally conditioned. Cultural stories and cultural myths and all of that can all be passed on. and energetically as well. And then when you see the light, then you say, wow, okay, so my mother, who I have not been able to forgive, this is an example because my mother is 100% forgiven for anything. But my mother, she did this to me 20 years ago, and I absolutely could not forgive her for this. Only once you become truly conscious do you see she couldn't have acted in any other way. Everything happened exactly as it happened based upon her current level of consciousness. And so if she was fully awake, then there would be no topic. It would be pure light guiding her actions. And then she would have a choice. So this is of utmost importance to see this in yourself, to learn to forgive yourself. And then you can see in other people. And you can see, wow, the actual them, the true nature, never did anything like this. And so what I'm going to do, so here's forgiveness. I'm going to drop the storyline. I'm going to drop the storyline. Now, a lot of people's ego mind will say, no, I want this person to pay for that. I cannot forgive them, as if their unforgiving them is doing something to that person. It's only doing something to you. The ego loves a grievance. The ego loves to have an attachment to some long-standing, I just can't believe what they did to me. Can you believe this? This person is low. This person is a lower or the ego mind will create a huge story around it, and it feeds off of that negative energy. Yes, off of that mental, emotional energy field. Grievances, which is what keeps us from forgiving, can be seen like its own entity, like a little dark entity that can remain locked away in the mind. And even when people practice spirituality and they're learning to forgive and everything, they can still have this grievance or this issue, this unforgiven part, and the ego will remain dormant in there. And so the person, it's their obstacle to awakening, because the ego is attached like a Horcrux. It's attached to that. And it lives in there. It says, no way. This person, what they did to me, absolutely no way can I forgive. But that is only harming yourself. Now, when we say forgive, do we mean condone? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do we mean allow back into our life? Not necessarily at all whatsoever. Forgiveness is a purely internal, energetic release. It's an energetic release that feels so wonderful. Feels so wonderful. You're saying, okay, I forgive you. But what does that mean? That means that I relinquish the story and that I am going to meet this other person in presence. People have, and I know this over the years of talking with, I know this, that people have long-standing grievance, which is a lack of forgiveness, over people that aren't even alive anymore. Maybe they died 25 years ago, and what they did to me, that person just, and they've got the whole storyline and all the emotion that comes right back with it, because it's all just sitting there in the depth of the mind. It's all just sitting there waiting to lurk its head. It's feeding off the negative energy. Yes? And so if the person isn't alive anymore, then you go within. It's a purely energetic release, and you say, okay, my friend, you are operating through unconscious belief patterns, unconscious habit patterns, and you were operating from your current level of consciousness. And so were you in the past. So, okay, sorry, I kind of got off on something there, but that's the topic of the talk, And so, yes, Kathy Tittle says, no longer letting them rent space in your head. Absolutely, guys. You are still giving them power. You are still giving them power over you. If this person who did something to you last year or 5 years or 25 years ago, and you still have this grievance against them, this energetic thing, they are still having power over your present moment. Are you ready to let go of that? And when you start doing this introspective work within yourself, and you sit even just for 5 minutes and you investigate the mind, you will see that maybe you are not willing to let go. Many people still functioning from the ego mind standpoint, if they have a strong, the ego has a strong grip on them, then they will not be willing to forgive. They'll think that they are, but just absolutely not, because the ego gets sustenance from this grievance, from this tension. The ego loves conflict with others because it creates, it gives a sense of separateness, that I am this individual. You see, the ego doesn't exist, and it knows that. But so it's always fearing that, the reality, which is the present moment. In the present moment, there is no ego. It doesn't exist. It only lives in the thought process of what has happened or what might happen. It only lives there. Val says, easy for me to forgive others, not so much myself. Yes, my friend, it is this. I know exactly what that is like. But it is the same process. You go within and you examine and you say, I was unconscious. You know, that it is the unconscious belief patterns, habit patterns within myself that led me to this. Yes, Stephanie says, I practice seeing the person's eyes as a child and hold them in love before, when they were pure. Yes, yes, definitely. I did that meditation some time ago when I was in the singing trees. We did that meditation with our parents, you know, seeing the child that our parents were, because that's the number one grievance that a lot of people have. And a grievance is like a long-standing resentment, you know, an unforgiveness. And so that's the number one that a lot of people have, is with the parents. You know, they think that because they've deeply believed that something, that this shouldn't have been this way, even though it was this way, even though it was. Well, it shouldn't have been. Well, but it was. It was that way. So we can meet it in presence now and release it. Again, that doesn't mean we condone it or that we approve of it, but it's in the past. And so we can release the energy field, the mental, emotional energy field, entity. That's what we're releasing. And we can say, look, my parents were unconscious. I mean, maybe they still are. I mean, maybe they will come into consciousness, full consciousness, before they leave this realm, this earth, or maybe not. Or maybe not. But it doesn't matter. They don't have to awaken. They don't have to do anything for you to forgive them. It's an internal, energetic release. Yes. And it feels so good. And that is when the ego begins to lose its grip on you, and it begins to dissolve. And you can begin to live more and more in a state of freedom instead of a state of conditioned responses, which is what most people spend their whole life in. From one thought right to the next, right to the next, right to the next, without even aware of the stillness, the presence, this whole other dimension to life that has remained locked away in their thought process. Matthias says, I sometimes find it hard to forgive my past self because of self-criticism. I see more and more that I always did the best I could do at the time, and I could have done any better, or I couldn't have done any different, and that is okay. This is a very good realization, Matthias, is that you and all people are doing the best they can given their current level of consciousness. This is the key. And as you begin to, if we want to say raise our frequency or something, as we begin to uncover, as we begin to strip away the layers of the ego that has wrapped our true nature, then we see more and more that people are operating, that there's levels to this, that there's levels, definitely. And so people that are totally stuck in the ego mind and the thought process and one emotion right on to the next one, and they're identified with these emotions entirely, meaning they have believed what the emotional state is telling them, and they've identified, they believe it's them. You know, identifying. This is important. Val says, I was really unconscious most of my drug and alcohol younger self. Oh, yeah, I feel you there. I feel you there. This is how I know. And this is how I know that it can be so toxic carrying around guilt and shame and self-resentment for so long. Yes. And so this is how you have to go within and let it go. You have to learn how to do that and what that means. And you have to be okay with yourself. Whatever has happened in the past, you were unconscious then, deeply unconscious, but now you can see. Selma Aki, I used to struggle with the way my mother behaved. Only this year did I realize that she's so caught up in her own grievances that it's pretty much made her mentally ill. Yes, guys, yes. And that this is growth, in my opinion and experience, that many people are, okay, my mother's treating me this way, or she's doing this, or my father's doing this. Oh, it's because they're under the belief that they could act any different, that their mother or father has some kind of freedom from the ego mind, which they don't. That they can become, as people become older, just because someone is older doesn't mean that they're wiser. The two do not correlate necessarily. Often they do, but a lot of times they can become older and more entrenched in the storyline, which is pure ego, the storyline of what this person did to me. And even though these people are dead, these people in the family, they'll have like a notebook in their pocket, not literally, but figuratively, of where, okay, well, remember in 1972, this person did this to me. And then 1974, my brother said this to me and blah, blah. That's why I can't, what? And they're carrying these along because it gives them a sense of power. The ego feeds off of this. It's like a vampire. So this is why. And the more, and remember, we know that whatever you practice, you become good at. And so if you practice holding on to these grievances and these resentments and not forgiving, that's what you will become good at. Yes. So the Ursula says, I allow myself to have all these versions of myself. I don't have to get rid of anything. I keep these experiences as reference material, but do not choose them for daily intentional tool sets. Yes, of course. Yeah, get rid is a figure of speech, of course. You don't get rid of anything. It's a release of the energy. And so the things that have happened, though, we learn from these things, of course. Of course. So does that mean the ego mind a lot of times will see and think, well, without me holding this contracted negative sort of energy, then how am I going to know how to navigate through life without people taking advantage of me? Or how am I going to know how to survive? That's what the ego mind says. But 100%, the true nature knows exactly. Once the ego evaporates and the true light shows through, then infinite spirit is guiding you. Infinite wisdom is telling you everything to say, and you will intuitively know from the heart what people and situations are the right ones completely. And your past experience, of course, will tell you this as well. So forgiveness is the internal thing, but of course you can't forget. Because, people say forgive and forget. That's a figure of speech, of course. You can't forget unless you have some kind of dementia. And it's deeply ingrained. If somebody harms you, there's no need to bring this person back into your life or do anything with this person. But there is the need to forgive within, definitely. To find peace, to find lasting peace. But most people are so caught up in their life, in the storyline, that they're not even aware how miserable they are, that they think that it's just normal what they experience. And so it can be a total revelation when they begin the practices and they begin to see the space in between the thoughts, and when they begin to see the stillness that is within, they begin to see how the ego mind is operating. It's wonderful. Yes, Matias, to know all is to forgive all. Pam says baggage. Oh man, most people have so much baggage. Oh my goodness. But we can do this when we become present. Look, right now, where is all the baggage? Where's the story? Where is that thing your mother did to you 25 years ago? Where is that person that cut you off in traffic yesterday? Where are they now? That there is none. They're nowhere. They only live inside you still as a mental emotional energy field, which is negative and which is vampiring the energy out of your life. Yes? And so when we come into the present moment, we can see that only once you pick up the storyline again does it appear to be real. And the more that you practice this, the easier it becomes, until with any situation you can say, okay, well, yeah. But right now, in the present moment, where is it? And you will go outside, you will look at the sky, you'll think, wow, okay. Still the same present moment. Still the same present moment. But then all of a sudden the ego mind will come back in and you'll say, oh, well, no, but then remember this person did this, and then you'll feel all the emotions that come with it and everything. But then come back to the moment and you'll see, where is it? It only lives inside my thought process as a little gremlin. Yes, Lisa T says, I don't try to forget anymore. Remembering builds wisdom and discernment and resilience. Forgive and remember. Absolutely. That's a good one too. Forgive and remember. Although I would say we don't have any choice but to remember, because as we begin living more from the heart, the subconscious guides more of our actions. And the subconscious is a permanent record. It never forgets anything. Every sound, every word that has ever been spoken within your awareness, every single sensation, every feeling, all of it is permanently recorded in the subconscious. It is written in stone. Even though you can't consciously recall everything, the subconscious is a permanent record. And so when you begin living from the heart, the subconscious guides you more, gives you gut feelings, gives you things, because it's drawing upon this massive base of knowledge and experience that your conscious mind isn't even aware of. And so that is why you can forgive past situations, because it says, okay, well, guess what? I've learned from that. And there's no way that is ever going to be repeated. Yes? Because the subconscious remembers, and it will guide you through the heart. And so it will steer you clear. It will keep you, and so the Nancy, hello, my friend, says resentment, a well-worn neural pathway. Yes. I know these new practices and new pathways will allow the old ones to heal. Thanks so much, everyone. This is moment with you is gold. Yes, Nancy, definitely, guys. And if what you're hearing here, if it's not becoming or hasn't become a reality for you, not a problem. You just do the practices, repeat them, become aware of what is happening in the mind, become aware of the quality and the nature of the thoughts and the sensations that are happening in the mind. This is where it all begins. And then it snowballs and it's like exponential growth. It just becomes more and more and more. And then your ability to recognize these deep-seated resentments and then to watch them, bring them into the light of consciousness and watch them, and then let them go right out of your awareness. And you can recognize how when this thought comes up of the past, all these emotions and the blood starts pumping and the heart rate starts beating and everything, and then you come some old belief pattern, nope, absolutely not, I'm not going to forgive this person, well, all this other stuff, it comes up, and it's all from that contracted energy. So you become aware of all of these things, and as it comes into the light of consciousness, it loses its power. These kind of things, grievances and lack of forgiveness and the negativity, they only have power when they are kept in the shadows of your psyche. When they are brought into the light of consciousness, they just dissolve. It might take some time, some practice of that, of course, some repetition of that, it will, but they dissolve. Yes. Let's see here. Creative Soil says, religion is the reason I don't talk to my family. They go to church and pray for material things. But think that God's name is God. I was born into a cult. Yeah, I know. I know how that goes. It's incredible how some people can think that they have the only way, their club is the only club, and anyone that's outside of the club is wrong, of course, and is less than. But this again is purely from the ego mind. The ego mind says, okay, we have the right answer, but you obviously do not. So the ego mind contracts and focuses on tiny little things instead of the true awareness, the heart energy, the infinite spirit, the light from within, your true nature. Sees expanded view of everything, and it sees the truth within all religions. Yes, at the core, all religions are saying really the same thing, what we're saying here in many ways. And so it doesn't, it sees and it can feel such a broader perspective than just narrowing it way down and saying, nope, only through this. You have to use this person's name, and it's a masculine entity, and it lived 2,000 years ago, but it's not here now. And all this stuff. And so that has torn people apart for generations. It is unbelievable, man. It is unbelievable how strong it is. And so, especially when I was traveling in like Morocco and things, there's, I was just beginning to understand these things, these tribal grievances. See what we're talking about? These tribal type grievances that have lasted for hundreds of years. And oh no, this tribe did this, and so 400 years ago they did this to my ancestors, and so therefore now I have to do this or something. And they're totally locked up into the storyline, the ego mind, because now, where is it? Where is that thing that happened to your ancestors 400 years ago? It's nowhere, except lives inside of you. You are keeping it alive as a mental, emotional energy field, the little gremlin. So you cannot keep it alive anymore and be free. Yes, the Santos lives. I constantly hear stuff I don't agree with, and I sing the songs and try to enjoy. I figure my kids need an entry-level experience of God. Yes, yes. That's good, doing it for the kids. I can understand that. But I realized this traveling in Morocco and India and all of these places with very, very complex mythologies, very, very complex mythologies, hundreds and thousands. And Hinduism has 22 million different incarnations of the divine and that they've personified, and some people take these literally, but the But the thing is, how many people would come to these conclusions themselves if they weren't told the storyline? How many people, if they were just all completely born and raised on an island, how many people would come to this storyline themselves? This concept of the divine, especially like Christianity or something. How many people would come to that full developed storyline by themselves? Zero. You have to be told these things. It has to be implanted into your mind. Ursula says, is that reference to 400 years in regards to slavery? No, not at all whatsoever. Slavery's been a lot longer than 400 years. What do you mean? So no. VA Green says, look at the violence going on today in the name of religion. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's the storyline there. It's the contracted energy. Ms. T, good to see you here. Religion is all by design, division, a form of ego. Yes, definitely, definitely. Maybe we should have a talk about religion sometime. We could do our own talk on religion. You guys would have to share a lot, though. Definitely. Yes. Sometimes toxicity gets stronger with age. Nate, as you said, age and wisdom should go hand in hand, but is not always. I witnessed that so much throughout the scamdemic. Thought elders to be smarter. Right. Yes. It's a with the elders, guys. It's been sort of hijacked in more indigenous or traditional societies. The wisdom and age more closely correlates. But here in the West, which is now becoming the world culture, the elders have been sort of hijacked, and their energy, has been um, misdirected. And so we, like here in America, when people get old, we just cast them off. Well, their usefulness is gone. They no longer can work, and so we have to put them away in a home, in some special retirement home. That concept would be totally 100% foreign to play other cultures like India and Thailand and even Greece and all these other cultures that I've been to. Um, would That would be totally unthinkable. But yeah, we could get into that for a long time. Okay. Yeah. Santo says, religion talk. Yes, I was born Catholic and it led me here. Nice, nice. Yes, we could definitely do that. We should. Um, yeah, that's why what Ms. T said about the elders. So that's why it's so important that we awaken now, and that we bring the light of consciousness into our daily activities now, and that we take the step back, and so that we can see this expanded perspective now. And so we don't become focused in the tinier little minutiae of the little labels. Yeah, the little labels. This is of the ego mind. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, guys. So, what do you think? The our okay, Lisa T says our parents, our people's blocked love is their brokenness expressed. Ooh, yes, yes. Their brokenness expressed. That's a good way to put it. Brian, one of the hardest things for me to do was to forgive myself after I got sick, which led me here into a better self. Nice. And so that's really what it boils down to, guys, is do you love yourself? Meaning fully accept yourself in the now. Do you accept yourself in the now? Because if you truly love yourself, every single part of yourself, you've purified the self. And so that you love who and what you are now, the expression of life flowing through you, then in no way could you have any grievance about anything that has happened in your past, that people have done to you or that you have done, because it has led you here. Without every single thing that has happened, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be who you are. You wouldn't be in have the self-love. Which, what is love really? It is union. It is completion. It is recognizing the wholeness, that you are already whole. You actually don't have to do anything to be worthy of wholeness. You are already whole right now. It's not going to be some far off thing. It's just recognizing what is already here. And so, yes, Stephanie says blue zones, young and old participate in life and love. Absolutely. The older generation has a purpose in these cultures. This is of utmost importance, has a purpose, that the older people are watching the kids, or a part of raising the kids. And here in America, how in the West, how isolated I see these mothers. And especially now with the epidemic of single mothers, is I see this everywhere, how isolated and alone these people are raising the kids, where in other countries you just don't see that. I'm talking Asia, basically, Asian, because I have intimate knowledge of that. For several years, I was living in these cultures. And so I see this, how generations, not only generations, but families, are raising collectively the kids more. And so, like a single mother living in a house trying to do everything herself would be totally unheard of, totally alien thought process to these cultures, who it's like the kids are raised by the village, you know. And yes. Selma Key says, after having the baby and observing mothers, I'm shocked at how resentment has seeped into the modern day mother-child bond and how many moms quietly harbor resentment about motherhood. Listen to that, guys. This hits home. I mean, this makes sense. How many of us have seen this? After having the baby, and I'm going to say it again, after having the baby and observing mothers, I'm shocked at how resentment has seeped into the modern day mother-child bond and how many moms quietly harbor resentment about motherhood. Yes. How many moms do quietly harbor resentment, the loss of their freedom? Yeah. The resentment to the child. And this is a symptom of the culture, guys, of how isolated we are. We are social beings that, in the sense that we cannot survive without other people, and for the most part. And so we are meant to have so many more people. And now this lifestyle that we live here in the West is unbelievably isolated. So... okay, a few more. Says VA Green, I think people are lost in the manipulation of religion, TV, etc. Seems like everything now is meant to separate people into groups where they can be controlled. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the true nature is that of pure light. And so you can't control pure energy. You can't control and enslave and get the pure light energy to do what you want. So how do you have to do that? You have to convince it that it's less than the totality of creation. You have to convince it that it's not the one. And you have to bottle it up and you have to say, well, you're not divine. You can't be divine. God is divine. And God is over here, you see? So you're separate from that. So implant that into their mind so that they're not realizing their true God nature, the Godhead, the God mind, not realizing that they are a dream in the mind of God. And so separate God and then have like a liaison, a middleman, which is the clergy, you know. And so, okay, God is over here. You can have a relationship with God, says religion, but you can never be the energy of God when you already are the energy of God. You already are the Godhead. So that is what religion is very good at, is creating this sense of separation between the divine and you to keep you from realizing your ultimate power. Carol says, I retired from work to help raise my grandkids. Legacy is more important than money. Oh, absolutely, guys. Stephanie says, my daughter left Bali for Thailand. She's coming home to wander. Nice, nice. Wasn't it you that said, this was several months ago now, that was talking about my daughter's going away and I'm terrified of it? Yes. And then I said what a fantastic education traveling is, and that how I just can't, I recommend it for anyone that has the pull or the drive to do that. Yes. Because it's the ultimate education. It's wonderful what it teaches you about the world, how other things are done, but also about yourself. And Lisa T says, our standard American diet and the systemic poor health in our culture renders our elders ineffective instead of being vibrant, quick of mind, and wise. And our cult of narcissism brushes them aside. This is very well said. This is very well said. The diet, years of watching TV and the diet and eating garbage and endocrine disruptors and all of this. My great grandmother, the last 10 years of her life was just spent sitting in her chair in a house alone watching TV. Lawrence Welk, Murder, She Wrote, Matlock, you know, all of these kind of things. The Dick Van Dyke reruns, all of this stuff, just over and over. And every time I went there, just watching TV in the rocking chair for 10 years. That's it. It's just crazy. So, okay, guys. This is, what should next week's topic be, guys? What should next week's topic be? I felt like there was one that I was going to do. What should next week's topic be? Let's have a quick vote. Just put in what you think the topic for next week should be. And I like having it because it gives us a week to sort of, you know, ponder it. Guys, check out the links in the description of the video. Okay, check out the Amazon store if you're looking for gift ideas for people for Christmas. Then there's a lot of good stuff in the Amazon store. There is also links in the description to the sauna tent that I have, which is awesome. It's a wood-fired sauna tent, and we use it all the time. Been feeling really good. The contrast therapy is fantastic, and I highly recommend it. There's also a link to the steam room that I have, which is much more affordable, and it's indoors. And so that is there's a link to that as well. It's called Nordic Ways. I know, isn't it convenient? Nordic Ways steam sauna. And use the link in the description. It's less than $300, and you can fire it right up and get a full-on steam sauna experience. Guys, it's so important because you can go from the steam sauna or the wood-fired sauna right into the cold training, back into the sauna, back into the cold train. This is what we do in the classes, okay? So highly recommend it. Crystal, hello, my friend, says, thank you, Nate. I'm so grateful that I was able to catch this live teaching today. Yes, I'm glad you're here as well. Okay. Yes, Lisa T says religion, or as spirit moves us. Nancy says religion. Yes, okay. Brian says much peace and blessings, religion. Okay, looks like we're going to do religion in some form next time. Santosh says, hey, man, I'll be happy with whatever you come up with. Nice. That's what we'd like to hear as well. And so yes, everyone's saying full moon. Have a great full moon day. Ursula says yes. Happy full moon. Kenny Green. Unforgiveness is a life of constant pain. Let it go. Absolutely, guys. Not forgiving someone is drinking poison, expecting it to hurt them. That is what it's about. Val says next chat about spirit. Yes, we can do this. Pam says, this was awesome. A great sharing from all you lovely people. Stephanie says, thank you for today. Subject next week, exploring other realms. Ooh, yes, we could talk about this. Although I think it's going to be religion-based or talking about religion, which that can be a touchy subject. But I think all of you guys are open enough to receive, to understand. So check out the links in the descriptions, and we will be right here next Monday, same time, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Also, there is a live Q&A on the Garden Like a Viking channel. We talk about growing your own nutrient-rich produce, which is the foundation. That is super important. What you put in the body has a tremendous effect on your experience. Yes, because if you're feeling pains and aches and illness, then you're not gonna feel connected to your true sense of being. You're not gonna feel enlivened, yes, and thriving. So it's very important. And the foundation of health is getting the chemicals out of the diet, eating as much of the homegrown or organically grown produce as we can. Ursula says, you like this video? Like this video. Absolutely, guys. Click the thumbs up if you can. If you're watching it after the fact, leave us your thoughts in the comments. And this is wonderful. Also, we have a Discord chat. So it's mostly the Garden Like a Viking stuff. But then at the bottom, there's a Thrive Like a Viking section where we talk about cold training and all that. Creative Soil is really sharing his experience. Ursula's sharing her experience. So all this stuff, you can join up the Discord, and it's very much like the yes, VA Green I have. And so it's very much like this chat can be, except it's just for everyone else to see. So, okay, guys, let us end with 3 cycles of the chant. Infinite Spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite wisdom tells me what to do and what to say. Infinite Spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite wisdom tells me what to do and what to say. Infinite Spirit goes before me and opens the way. Infinite wisdom tells me what to do and what to say. This is so true, literally.